Hello. Welcome again to your favorite online show, Talk Shop, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And as we always say here, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. That's just it. No matter what you do, the truth I hear is like a cork. It's like trying to push a cork down in the water. It will always pop back up. So that's why we say truth shall rise again. And of course, this t-shirt that everybody wants now. I'm very, very, very happy that people are requesting. In case someone wants my t-shirt, this is my size, this is my color. And I'm very, very happy. The t-shirt, we are still re-qualitating the t-shirts. No, we are going to get it all out to you very, very soon. I'll be giving you how you can get your own t-shirt, okay? So thank you. And let me say something before I begin today. I am very, very, very happy because I can see that this show has brought together a whole generation of thinkers who think radically and who are ready to move. It has brought together people who are, how do I put it, not only sick and tired, but they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I told you that when you get to that stage, it means you are ready for change. So I want to welcome you all. For those people who go way back to my Vibe days, I call you members. So all you members, because you go way back, Vibe days is late 90s. Thank you very much, my dear members, for sticking with me. And also the new ones, I call you new members. The new members too, thank you very, very, very much for sticking with me. And trust me, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And what time is it, folks? It's nation time. It's nation time. And I just say that just to make sure that we remember that our allegiance is not to any political party. Our allegiance is to the nation. End of discussion. So we'll keep at it and we'll help any political party whose interest is in building this nation. Because we need help, man. I meet the youth, and when they talk to me, KSM, I'm listening to your shows, but how do I get hope? You know, the youth, they are desperate. You think people get up and cross the Sahara? People pay money to try and get out of Ghana just because they want to? No, it's because they have lost hope. So all I'm trying to do with this series to keep hope alive. And trust me, we're going to engage on the 7th of December after Mahama has sworn in. And when the resetting agenda has started, you will hear from us. Folks, we voted for change. We have got the change. But I tell my dear youth and everybody, it's only the beginning. Oh. This is only the beginning. Yes, we voted for change, but there will be no change until you and I change our character. Otherwise, it's the same old Ghana. The same old unreliable people, the same old hypocrites, the same old people who do not stick to time, the same old people who like gossiping. It's the same old people. So what happens if you change the government? And it's still the same old people, our same old mentality, our same old behaviors. If we keep all those same old things, but we change the government so we have a new government and think that, oh, there we are done. At least we have a new government. Trust me, the new government will not get any mileage if we have the same old character. So this resetting, man, I don't want to rush ahead. We'll be starting some resetting agenda on this program, man. We have to. We really have to. Let me say this. Today, I just want to touch on a few very, very urgent things. Then I'll move on to something that we must all embrace ourselves with. It's almost New Year. And regarding New Year too, it's the same thing. Oh. January 1st is just another day. Nothing changes. It's just like going from Monday to Friday. Only this time we went from 31st to the 1st, but nothing has changed. Trust me, if you go to bed broke on the 31st night, you wake up on 1st January broke. If you go to bed sick on 31st night, you wake up 1st January sick. All I'm trying to say, nothing changes. It's just one day to another day. We just happen to call it the new year. But it is time for you. It gives you a chance to renew or reset your mind and change your thinking in a certain way. But as for the day there, it's still the same old day. But anyway, today I want to talk about some very, very interesting things happening in our politics. It's interesting and sad. We talked yesterday, no, not yesterday, we talked the other day about the lunatic fringe. And I told you that the lunatic fringe under every administration, whatever the party, there are a group of people that we call the lunatic fringe. Their minds are not together. They thrive on chaos. They thrive on chaos. When they see chaos, then it's like time to jubilate. So the lunatic fringe always wants to create chaos so that they can take advantage of it. Very, very sad. But it happens with every administration. There is always a lunatic fringe. And I'm saying the lunatic fringe still exists. And I'm happy that the agenda that they were trying to kick in failed. And I always say this, folks. I always say this. Those of you who have followed me know that I'm not the biggest fan of Bawumia. If you ask me now, do I ever think that Bawumia is qualified to be a president of Ghana? I will say no. I'm not a big fan of him. But I always and will always praise him for his early concession because, folks, those of us who know understand the value of his concession. And he himself said he had analyzed the data. Their party has their own ways of analyzing the data. NDC have their own ways of analyzing the data. He saw an analysis of the data and realized that there is no hope for the NPP. So he said he wanted to concede at 3 a.m. But then again, he thought, oh, Charlie, who is awake at 3 a.m. for me to do a concession speech? Let me wait till 9 a.m. the following day. So he waited till 9 a.m. and did the concession speech. You know, the law says that the Electoral Commissioner has up to 72 hours, 3 days, to declare the election. That's what the law says. So Bawumia says he was thinking, wow, if we're going to go through 3 days, the tension in the country will be too much. And that could lead to something chaotic. So he said, let me concede so that everybody knows their level. And he did that.
Focus was service. Once I saw the results, and it was clear we were not winning this particular election, I thought it was not good to leave the country under tension for any length of time. In fact, by 3 a.m., we knew that we had lost the election. The Electoral Commission was going to take a few days to get to that conclusion, but our own collation, the data that we got from all the polling stations, was clear that we were not going to win this election. And so the question was, should we wait for the Electoral Commission to go through its processes and then announce in a few days' time, or do I go out immediately? There were different opinions, but I made the decision that it was better to go out. At 3 a.m., it was a bit early. People were sleeping. So I decided that we'll do it at 9 a.m. On Sunday morning. And so we gathered the press, and then I made my announcement that morning to say, you know, my opponent had won decisively, and we are conceding the election. And I think that that helped bring down the tension in the country.
And trust me, if he hadn't done it, the EC would have said, well, the law gives me 3 days. So even if they know within the next, they have known the results within 10 or 12 hours, they'll wait because the law permits them up to 3 days. And that's very interesting. The law doesn't say that the Electoral Commission should declare the results in 3 days or in 72 hours. It says they are given 72 hours, which means anytime within the 72 hours, you can do it. But Bawumia, being whatever, saw that if he doesn't concede, waiting for 3 days, the anxiety, the confusion, the bickering, the back and forth was not good. So he decided, I'll do an early concession. And folks, trust me, those of us who know and those of you who know will tell you that that saved this country from being plunged into chaos by the lunatic fringe. And it's very, very sad. Mensah, people say, why am I on your case? But I think you understand why I'm on your case. It's very, very, very sad, Mensah. But I'm saddened to know that you allow the lunatic fringe to hold sway over your thinking. So after you declared everything and said it is done, Mahama is president.
I have the singular honor as the returning officer of the 2024 presidential election to declare His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the 2024 presidential election and the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana with a total percentage of 56.55%. Congratulations, sir. It is finished. Thank you very much.
You have to come back and say certain things were not done well. The coalition, there were some figures and people were under stress and duress. So you reversed certain decisions that had been made at the polling stations.
It is important to note that the declarations made by our staff were made under threat, and the Commission considers this as illegal. Those declarations, as well as others that have gone on in other constituencies, will not be upheld by the Commission.
Where people had gone there, voted, joined the count, the NDC had been declared winner, they celebrated there, and then everything.
As the returning officer for Dominic-Wavenya constituency, I declare Madam Akuffo for Electoral as the parliamentary candidate-elect for Dominic-Wavenya constituency. Thank you.
All of a sudden, you and Bossman said there was some stress and some chaos and whatever it is that you saw that most of us didn't see. So you have to recollect. And then you took the seats from the NDC and gave them to the MPP. And they went to the court, the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court finally came out and said, no, this is not right. The seats have been won by the NDC. Let us take it back, and then the Supreme Court reversed it and gave it back to the NDC.
We hereby quash the orders of mandamus made for collation of results by the Electoral Commission in the following constituencies. 1. Okaikwe Central. 2. Ablekuma North. 3. Tema Central. And 4. Techiman South. Accordingly, the collation of results in the above constituencies by the Electoral Commission after 20th December 2024 on the orders of the court are hereby set aside.
Let me say something before I even continue. Somebody saw me and said, KSM, on the next show, I want you to big up the Supreme Court because they are timely intervention, they reverse the thing, so big them up. And I said, big them up for what? Folks, they did what they were supposed to do. Supreme Court didn't do anything extraordinary. Supreme Court, they looked at the case, they used their common sense, they looked at the evidence and everything, and reversed it. That is what the Supreme Court is for. And see, I won't come and say, oh, Supreme Court, we thank you very much for making. No! You know, the sad thing in this country is that we have made the negative things so powerful, so that when you do right, it's like we should thank you for doing right. But it should be the other way around. When you do negative, we punish you. When you do right, you're supposed to do right. And young one was some. But because of the nature of what we've been through and everything, you know, when you're a taxi driver and somebody leaves like 10,000 cedis in your car, and you take it back to the owner because you know where you dropped the owner, you are celebrated. Wow, this is great. You saw the 10,000 cedis, it wasn't yours, and you actually returned it to the owner. Why are they? The government may even give you a reward. Say, you have done something extraordinary. But I'm saying normally it shouldn't be anything extraordinary. That is what we are supposed to do for ourselves as human beings. The thing is not yours, you've discovered it, blah, blah, blah. Take it to the owner. It's a natural thing. That is what it's expected. But we don't do that. And because we don't do that, because the norm now is that if you get it, keep it. If it's not yours, cry, keep it. That is the norm now. So that the few people who say, no, it's not mine, let me return it, we have to worship them as heroes. But normally I'm saying, this is something, it doesn't mean anything. You go to Saudi Arabia or US or advanced countries and see if people return things that don't belong to them, whether they are praised and worshipped. No, they just done the thing they are supposed to do. No. All I want to say is that the Supreme Court, your decision is something, that is what we expect from you. Judicious decisions. And you take that decision like blindfolded and say, this is not wrong, this is not right, this is wrong. No, I take a decision. That's all we expect from judges. But because, unfortunately, because of your own actions and because now Ghana has not even the trust they have in the judiciary. The Afrobarometer says it. I don't have to say it. Nobody has to say it. Ghana has lost the confidence in the judiciary because Ghana has given up on the judiciary, and they actually nickname you and call you the unanimous FC. That is sad. So being called the unanimous FC, which is sad, which is degrading, you see that the only time that you have come up with something judicial and people are happy about, they say I should come and praise you. Not that you deserve the praise, but because before then, everything I've done, people felt no. Omni court, no. They are the big ones. If they say so, no be ID, but not that they agree with you. So me, I'm not coming here to big you up that, oh, you have done well. No, you have done what you're supposed to do. All I say is, please, keep doing what you're supposed to do. That's all. I'm not adding anything to what you do or taking anything away. I'm saying just keep doing what you're supposed to do. And let Ghanaians be confident again that we have a Supreme Court. And when we think that things are going wrong with us, we will run to you. Because when we run to you, you will give us justice. That's it. And that's why people are happy that for once they run to you expecting unanimous FC to throw away the case, but you said no, let's do the right thing. So all I would say is keep it up. Now, let's get back to this. Electoral Commission. You declared everything, you said it is finished. Ghanaians were jubilating, and in my last show when I did the Lunatic Fringe, all of a sudden there was another press conference about how suddenly things went wrong, how polling stations, polling agents were under duress. Even, what's his name? This man, Bossman, I was listening to him on TV3. He even talked about some of them were under gunpoints and knives. And the TV3, Beatrice was interviewing them, said, we didn't see any guns, our cameras were there.
The same people who declared the results you are claiming they declared said no, that's not what transpired. And that at a gunpoint, at a knife point, I was compelled to declare a winner who didn't win.
Our cameras were there. I don't remember we reporting
No,
that they put knives and guns on the head.
Did you watch the declaration of Okankwe Central? Have you seen the footage?
I did.
Did you hear the officer saying I declared with 78%?
No, but
did you hear that?
I'm asking you a question specific to what you just said, which is the guns and the knives, and I'm saying that I don't recall our cameras recording that.
But usually in those
because that's what you're using to say under duress.
No, the point is under duress. Apart from that, but
where were the guns? You know, and where was the duress? And they have the footage to show the election ended, people counted, and the results were declared, and they all saw it. So, Bossman, the guns and the knives, where were they? Do you have footage of that we don't know? So, folks, I mean, I don't want to keep dwelling on this all the time. The point is that change has come. The NDC has won. Change has come. And as I said, it's just the beginning. Will there real change, me and you, will that also happen? That's the next big question, folks. But in the meantime, folks, I am have been very disappointed with the Electoral Commission. This is me. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody. You can be very happy with them. That's your decision. Great. I have nothing to say about it. But me, I'm very, very disappointed. It was seemingly a smooth election. Everything went on well. But trust me, those of us who know what went on behind the scenes will shock you to get the election to be this smooth. There was a whole, for lack of a better word, let me say, war behind the scenes. People fighting to make sure that thumb-printed ballot papers were not allowed. There were hundreds and hundreds of already thumb-printed ballot boxes. People intercepted them.
And in the trunk of the Uber, it had ballot boxes. The boxes filled with papers. And we asked them, why are you coming this late? Because it was 10:48 p.m. And they said that they didn't answer us. And they said, why are we causing a commotion? And we said, we are not causing a commotion, but where are you coming from? A gentleman said, we are coming from Tema Central. And we said Tema, and another lady said, we are coming from airport. And we said, why is there no police guy following you guys? And they said, they don't know why. Why is there no security? We don't know why. And we said, we are following you. We followed them, we came here. No policeman. And the youth took the ballot boxes and opened them and threw them away. So over here, we are not supporting rigging of the election. We are being patriotic and we stand for democracy.
What is happening now is that the police station brought their ballot. That's their ballot boxes. That's like 2 hours ago and all that. Then about 20 minutes, people realized that there was a ballot that was being brought to be added to the ones that have been assembled. And that is where you realize that people question where the ballot was coming from. And they opened it and they realized that there were some of the ballot sheets that were not signed. They came with unsigned, but of course they were thumb-printed. So then the people here got agitated and they seized the ballot, the whole box, and they just throw it in there. So you can see all the ballot papers.
We the people of this country, we were ready. We were our own media men. We were our own intelligence. We were our own policemen. We were our own military men in here.
There are spaces here that the ballot boxes should be inside. And this is the coalition center. So what are the ballot boxes doing outside with no security? What kind of country are we living in?
Is this Ghana?
See, MPP, the country is not for MPP, okay? So right now we voted against you people. Leave!
The things that went on behind the scene that some of us are privy to will shock you. So it wasn't like, everything went well and everything. No, if things had gone the way of the lunatic fringe, you would have been surprised how much rigging would have gone on in this country. And the rigging was so planned and was so calculated and so brilliantly crafted that they were so sure, come hell or high water, we are winning this election. But there were people behind the scenes that made sure that that didn't happen. And I salute all of them. I won't mention their names, not on this program. You let Muhammad be sworn in, let things die down, and then I will come and tell you, with your permission, I'll name the characters behind the scenes, what they did. And let me say, in all of this, I have to say a big, big, big thank you to some very, 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 very strong MPP people. Why? Because thanks to their love of country, thanks to their love of Ghana, some of them actually passed the information. Say, Charlie, this is what is being planned. Go and look here, do this, do that. And the other side also got the tip off and moved. So while I'm congratulating everybody, I want at this point to say to all of you who are in the MPP, who had the intelligence and the sense to know that the country first before the party, and actually, if you will, betrayed your party by leaking certain information, vital information for this election, for the other side to investigate and quell most of those plans. Let me say, God bless you all, man. Yeah, show them so. And these were MPP people. So me, that's why when I get gung-ho about Ghana, I mean it. Because if individually we all put Ghana first, you'll be amazed what this country will do or become. Ghana first though. Ghana first. If we decide that Ghana first, and not only decide in terms of, I'm Ghana first, no, but we do the things we need to do to keep Ghana first. You see. And as I say, after the swearing in, when we change the meter band a little bit on our focus, and we start hitting on resetting, you see. Last time I quoted my good friend, not a good friend, I quoted a brilliant quotation from Stokely Carmichael, former freedom fighter, Black Panther. And I said, before he died, he's changed his name to Kwame Ture. And I noticed in the comments, somebody has actually mentioned that yeah, he later became Kwame Ture. He took Kwame Nkrumah's first name, Sekou Toure's last name, and put them together and called himself Kwame Ture. And what he said was this, and you know the quote now, that the colonial experience and colonialism has not only made us stupid, but it has made us ignorant in our stupidity. And when we start doing the programs about resetting the mind and everything, I'm going to go more deeper into these things so that we know and see what we have to do with ourselves to change things around. So I'll give you a little bit of some of the vim I have towards when it's coming to New Year, resolutions and things. I don't do any of them. I just have two things that I do. But before I do that, let me say this. We are waiting. For 8 years, this country was being plunged into economic chaos. Our level of indebtedness is way above everything we can think about. The amount of money we have blown and spoiled. A few examples is the $58 million dollar pit, plus the over $100 million worth of equipment that was there before we raised them all down to build the pit. There were judges' residences, there was the passport office, there were landmarks there. We raised them all to build what is now a pit at $58 million. This is what I want to say. All the time we're going through this, most of us Ghanaians, quiet, not a word. We sat down, saw this nation being defrauded, this nation being raped, this nation being pillaged. Where was the Ghana Bar Association? Where were the CSOs? Where were the churches? The mosque? Where was everybody? We sat down quietly and watched for 8 years. The country going down. Even headmasters who were heads of institutions during the free SHS had so many problems fraught with the system that the intelligent thing to do was just, Charlie, we're having these problems. We have to do this, we have to do that. No, they were all quiet, because if you dare open your mouth and say you are encountering any problem with free SHS, they either transfer you or punish you. Everybody was quiet. And now all of a sudden, even in the transition, the voices have started coming back. My own dear friend, Giftia Fenyedazi, are you not a member of the Council of Elders? You're not just an ordinary person, no. What a Council of Elders that advised the president. For 8 years, maybe you advised him quietly so it wasn't a public notice. I don't know. But for 8 years, we didn't hear anything from you. All of a sudden, we've heard your voice again that we need to fight corruption and nepotism. Really? Oh, and I saw another reverend, I don't know his name, I think it's called Kwesi Bempa or something, talking about, and it was great. He said he doesn't have any party, he's for the nation. But Mahama should forget Operation Retrieve All Loot, because he said he was going to bring the dollar down. So he should bring the dollar down. Concentrate on bringing the dollar down and let all those who have looted down, because when you go after them, it doesn't put money in my pocket.
Listen, let me tell you, I'm not a politician, and I'm not a member of any party. Anybody whose leadership does not end up in the well-being of the people, they wake up and laugh at the wrong side of their mouth. Now I've seen the new people also making oh, let's catch this one. My friend, take your time. We didn't vote you to be catching people. Do the economy well. That is why you said you will come. Catching somebody will not bring money into my pocket. So stay focused. We'll catch this one. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. No. That's not our business. That's not our business. Bring the dollar down. You say you will do it. Do it now. Do it now.
Wow. The agenda has started. That is the tone of the propaganda that we should expect now. Bring the dollar down. Let those who have looted loot. Folks, you have to watch out. All those people who decided that they have nothing to say. I'm just waiting to hear what you have to say now. There is a democracy. Yeah, sure. All the questions I will ask you, say, really? So you're seeing things that are going on wrong now, and for the last 8 years, everything was perfect? Anyway, I have a quick advice before I move on, because I don't want to spend too much time on this politics. We are going into a new year, and I'm looking forward to the new year. All I will advise Mensah and Bossman Asare, and perhaps other people in the Electoral Commission, please do Mahama a favor. Don't let him have to come to power and fire you. Write your resignation letters nicely. You ain't Tokobi anymore. Write your nice resignation letters and give him, even before he becomes president. Don't give him the additional chore, test or fire more. The election went on extremely well, not because of the competence and the handling of the Electoral Commission, no, but because of people who cared for this nation, both NPP people, NDC people, regular people who cared for this nation, former military men who cared for this nation. One day, former police people who cared for this nation. Thanks to them, that's why the election went on smoothly. But it wasn't because the Electoral Commission did such a fantastic job. If we had let the Electoral Commission alone, I'm sure the lunatic fringe would have gotten to you. And thank God there was a landslide and the whole Ghana was painted green. Because trust me, if there was a neck and neck thing, we know what would have happened in this country. We know what would have happened in this country. But folks, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. And the bottom line is that Mahama has been declared victorious. The change that we all wanted is here. And by the help of everybody, including even members of the MPP. And then the strong vigilance of the NDC, military people, police people, the change is here. We thank you all for it. Folks, I'm going to just quickly give you a few tips. This is going to the youth. The old people like my age, we have had these tips. We don't keep you. This is for the young people. Let me tell you, it's coming to New Year. You're going to start making your resolutions. And from now on, I won't do this. From now on, I won't do that. Let me tell you, 2 resolutions that you need to keep in mind for the rest of your life. No matter what, just keep these 2 resolutions in your mind, my dear people. Number one, that in this world we have 2 points. One is choices. 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 The choices. That's on one side. And the other side is consequences. Choices and consequences. And please understand, my dear friends, especially you, the young ones, please understand this. Whatever choice you make, you're going to get the consequence. Don't forget that. And this is the universal law I was talking about the other time. It's a universal law that if you make a choice, you're going to get the consequences. Of course, all religions have applied this universal law in their own way. If you go to Christianity, the Bible says that, be not deceived, God is not mocked, whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. Choices and consequences. The Quran, I don't remember the exact part, but it says that he who practices godliness will get the results of godliness. And he who practices in evil things will get that result. It's the same thing. And I think if you go to the Baha'i have a concept called reciprocity. That be careful what you're throwing, because reciprocity is at work. The Baha'i have it. Hindus have it. I think Hindus call it the law of karma. So folks, all I'm saying is that the universal law is your choice and the consequences. It's in every religion. But if you come to those of us who believe in the laws of the universe, it is one of the main laws of the universe. And I'm saying, once you become aware that whatever choice you make has its own consequences, then you'll be more careful of the choices you make. Sometimes you think you're making the right choice. Sometimes you are, but the consequences are bad. Find out why they are bad. Find out what went wrong, and then readjust your choice. That is as simple as we can. So this is what helped me. And I don't get up, this, as I go into this new year, this is what I want to do. I'll become a better this, I'll become a better. No, all I say is that I know that there are choices and there are consequences. But sadly, what's his name? Stokely Carmichael says, colonialism has not only made us stupid, but ignorant and stupidity. One of the tools they used to create that level of stupidity in our ignorance is religion and our education. We'll get to that when we start talking about resetting. But I'm just throwing it out there. One of the things is our religion. When your MPP wanted power, what did they say? The battle is the Lord's. You see how they elevated the whole political agenda to become something that the Lord is doing. The battle is the Lord's. And there were hymns and songs on it. Is the Lord's. Really? Really? The battle was the Lord's? No! The battle was based on certain choices that the leaders of the MPP made. It was based on the choices. Going into the election, the last election, the choices about how we can rig things and how we can do this, they were not the Lord's choices. Those are human choices that we make. But so many times, sadly, we just cloak it with God. The battle is the Lord's. I remember very, very well when all of us were told that Addo was chosen by God himself to rule Ghana. How many people went to church in their white. Let's go and thank God for choosing and giving us Akuffo Addo. The battle was the Lord's and the choice was the Lord's. God, this God who doesn't make any mistake, this God who knows everything, chose Addo. The battle is the Lord's. Folks, 2024 election, do you see how we rejected Addo? What happened to the Lord's decision? Common sense tells you that that decision was nobody's decision. It was just choices. Folks, look, when we go to vote, we vote based on the choice that we are making. And the effects of the voting are the consequences that we get after we vote. So if you make the wrong decision, you get the wrong consequences. So I'm just saying this, going to the new year, my dear youth, please open your minds. Realize that there are consequences of any choice that you make. And the funny thing is that because religion has sort of brainwashed us, sometimes we make certain choices, and when we get the consequences, then we blame God. We make the choices, and then when the consequences come, we are not responsible. Some God did it. So all I'm saying that for this new year, and I'm talking to the youth, not the grown-ups like me, for the youth, please understand this. Whatever choice you make, be prepared to take responsibility for the consequences. There will be there are consequences. And once you have this in mind, let it guide you in everything you do. Let it guide you in all the choices you make, because every choice comes with its own set of consequences, and the consequences you are responsible for. You know, we have been told that, oh, enyame. That's why when somebody says, what are you going to do about it? No. God gave you brains to think. So, and it's not in God's hands. So he's waiting for you to see how you're going to use your brains to advise yourself in that particular situation and what you're going to do. Yeah, we are all in God's hands, so nobody knows tomorrow to that extent, yes. But your individual days and things that you do are in your hands. You make the choices. And when we come to resetting of the mind, we'll talk about this, how we can bring our mind to accepting responsibility for our choices. Imagine you go and plant a corn all the way, and then just before the corn is ready for harvesting, you pray to God that, oh God, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I planted corn, I really wanted apples. So please change what I planted and give me apples. Because I'm not mocked, so whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. It's as simple as that. Choices and consequences. You see how, especially most of you in some of your churches, the pastor will pair two people. God showed me in the dream that you and her are supposed to get married. They do it all the time. Let me tell you, if you know the percentage of those that God allegedly chose and paired, the suffering and the bad marriages they are in, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. They've gone into abusive marriages and things that are shocking. Because the whole thing was false. Say, no. Make your own choice. Decide why you are making the choice. And understand that the responsibilities will come and you are responsible for it. This is just something short I'm giving you for now to engage you in your new year and the plenty resolutions that you make. So I'm ending on that. The only resolution that I want you to make today, dear youth of Ghana, say you're going to make choices and there are going to be consequences from that choices, and you have to be ready to bear responsibility for the consequences. It's in your hands, including voting and everything. But let me end here. KSM here today. I just wanted to touch on a few things, and because you're going to the new year, just advise my younger ones how their mindset should start changing. Start thinking the choices you make and the consequences that come with it, and how you accept the consequences as your responsibility. Don't give it away, and don't let your pastor tell you it is your mother. Oh, mommy, it's from your aunt, it's from your friend. No, they are results of the choices you make. Look at the consequences and think. In the meantime, folks, look, it's coming to 31st, and you're going to hear all the charlatan false prophets talking all kinds of crap about you and what you should do and what you should not do. And then. Think the choice is yours. Whatever choice you make, the consequences will be yours. Don't allow your charlatan to tell you, say, this your mother be, or your aunt, or they have a way of framing things to let you think that you are not responsible for the choices. It's all in the spirit world, and then confuse you. And then poor guys, you won't walking around. Please. Thankfully, that we have elected our president, so I don't know. Most of the prophecies in Ghana, I told you, God Ghana has a Ghana card. So God's prophecies in Ghana are all about who is going to be the election leader. But now that the elections are over, watch out for the prophecies you're going to be getting in your personal lives. And they will wreck you like there's no tomorrow. Because trust me, choices and consequences are universal law. Every religion has its own version, but they're universal. So watch out, folks. But let me say this, I really, really thank you for your love and support and patronage, my old members and my new members. Trust me, as we go into 2025, we're going to be having one of the biggest marches in Ghana, which is called, what time is it? Nation Time marches. We're going to be giving you information about how the t-shirt distribution was going to be, where and when for the march. So stick around. In the meantime, folks, let me end on this. Let me wish you all a very, 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 very happy new year. This Sunday, if you're in Accra, come to Cactus Creek because I'm having a big lunch buffet with live brass band. Only 320 and you're free. So join me at Cactus Creek for the big buffet this Sunday coming. So I'll see you there. In the meantime, make the correct choices and bear the responsibility. Folks, this is going to be our last talk for 2024, but we'll be back again, strong, live, and hot in 2025. So keep hope alive, and we'll be with you.